We have done in the last stanza that Cyril heard somebody knocking at the door. When he goes there, he saw that Mrs. Fitzgerald is there. And then she comes inside. Come in, Mrs. Fitzgerald. I just wondered if everything is all right. So she asked, is everything okay at home? Cyril, no, it isn't. Of course it is. You be quiet. Cyril says, no, nothing is okay here. But Mrs. Pearson says, everything is okay. You just be quiet. Then Cyril says, why should I be quiet? I tell you to, you silly spoiled young Piken. She said, I'm telling you to be quiet. Better you keep your mouth shut, you silly spoiled young Piken. Piken we say to foolish person. Mrs. Fitzgerald. Oh no, surely. Mrs. Pearson. Mrs. Fitzgerald, just let me manage my family in my own way, please. So she says, you don't say anything, it's my family. I'll take care of it. I'll manage it my own way. Yes, but Cyril, Mr. Cyril Pearson, to you, please, Mrs. Fitzgerald. So after that, he goes to the kitchen. Mrs. Fitzgerald, oh dear, what's happening? Nothing much, just putting them in their places. That's all. Doing what you ought to have done long since. So now Mrs. Fitzgerald, because actually in reality she is Mrs. Pearson, and Mrs. Pearson who is sitting there, she is Fitzgerald. So she is worried for her family. So she asked her, what is happening? What are you doing? So she says, it's okay, whatever I am doing, I am just putting them in places. I am teaching them what you should have done earlier. Is George home? Now she asked George, her husband is back to home. Yes, I have been telling him what they think of him at the club. So Mrs. Pearson said, I have already told George what the people in the club think about him. Mrs. Fitzgerald. Well, they think a lot of him, don't they? No, they don't. And now he knows it. She said, no, nobody thinks anything about him, but whatever they think, and he knows it now. Mrs. Fitzgerald, oh dear, I wish you hadn't, Mrs. Fitzgerald. So she said, Mrs. Fitzgerald, actually, who is Mrs. Pearson, she said, I wish that you should not have told him anything. Mrs. Pearson, nonsense. Doing them all a word of good, and they will be eating out of your hand soon. You will see. She said, you do so much for them, and after doing this you just see they will do whatever you want them to do. Mrs. Fitzgerald, I don't think I want them eating out of my hand. And so Mrs. Fitzgerald, actually who is Mrs. Pearson, she said, I don't want anything, that they should do whatever I want, but it's enough now. I think we need to do something, we need to change our soul, something she'll say now. Mrs. Pearson, well, whatever you want, they will be doing it, all three of them. Mark my words, Mrs. Pearson. So Mrs. Pearson says that I have trained them now, I have told them what they are actually, and now see, whatever you will do or say, they will follow you. George enters left glumly. He is unpleasantly surprised when he sees a visitor. He moves to the armchair left, sits down heavily and glumly lights his pipe. Then he looks from Mrs. Pearson to Mrs. Fitzgerald, who is regarding him anxiously. Now he's inside, now he's looking at both of them. George just looked in for a minute. I suppose, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Mrs. Fitzgerald. Well, yes, I suppose so, George. So Mrs. Fitzgerald says him George. Yeah, I suppose so, George. George. George? So he was surprised that Mrs. Fitzgerald was calling him George, which she never did before. Actually, who was saying this? Mrs. Fitzgerald was not saying. Mrs. Pearson was saying this. Mrs. Fitzgerald. Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Pearson. What does it matter? Your name, George, isn't it? Who do you think of you are? Duke of Edinburgh. So she said, what is the problem if she's calling you George? What do you think that you are Duke of Edinburgh? Your name is George, so she has called you George. George. What's he got to do with it? Just tell me that. And isn't it bad enough without her calling me George? No tea. Pompey Ompey Pearson. And poor Doris has been crying her eyes out upstairs. Yes, crying her eyes out. So George says, what's he got to do with it? Just tell me that. And isn't it bad enough without her calling me George? He said, other than calling me George, there are so many things being bad in our home. Tea is not ready. People are calling me Pompey Ompey Pearson. And Doris also, she's crying, she's gone to upstairs. So many things are happening around. What would be worse than this all? Mrs. Fitzgerald, oh dear, I ought to have known. George, you ought to have known? Why ought to you to have known? Nothing to do with you. Mrs. Fitzgerald, look, we're at six and sevens here just now, so perhaps you will excuse her. And George said, well, so Miss Fitzgerald said, I should have known this all the things. So George was surprised to see why you would know all the things. Okay, everything is disturbed here. Six and seven means everything is everything is in disorder in our home. So will be better you excuse us. Mrs. Pearson, I won't excuse you, George Pearson. Next time a friend and neighbor comes to see me, just say something when you see her. Good evening, or how do you do? Or something, and don't just march and sit down without a word. It's bad manners. So Mrs. Pearson says to George, next time anybody comes to our house, just say, wish them good evening, good morning, whatever, and simply just don't come and sit. That's bad manner. Mrs. Fitzgerald, no, it's all right. Mrs. Pearson, no, it's not all right. We will have some decent manner in this house, or I will know the reason why. Okay, so Mrs. Fitzgerald was saying, okay, okay, it's okay, but Mrs. Pearson said, no, they should learn all the manners. George, well, what? Why don't you get off to your club special night tonight, isn't it? They'll be waiting for you, wanting to have a good laugh. Go on then, don't disappoint them. Now Mrs. Pearson says to George, why don't you go to club? You said you are going to have a good night, special night today. They will be waiting for you. George, that's right. Make me look silly in front of her now. Go on, don't mind me. Six and sevens. Poor Doris, been crying her eyes out, getting the neighbors in to see the fun. Suddenly losing his temper, glaring at Mrs. Pearson and shouting, all right, let her hear it. What's the matter with you? Have you gone balmy or what? So now George was saying everything is in disorder in our house, and Doris is crying. So many things are happening here, and I don't understand what is the matter with you. Have you gone mad? Have you gone crazy? What is this? Mrs. Pearson, if you shout at me again like that, George Pearson, I'll slap your big fat silly face. And Mrs. Pearson, she got angry and she said, if you shout on me like this, I'll give you a slap. Mrs. Fitzgerald, oh no, 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 please, Mrs. Fitzgerald. So Mrs. Fitzgerald, actually, who is Mrs. Pearson, she must be feeling very bad because the way Mrs. Fitzgerald is treating whole family. She said, no, no, please don't do that.